Have you ever engaged in a serious debate over which is better, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Have you ever played Smash or Pass using only characters from Star Wars and Marvel movies? If you answered yes to any of these questions, we have the podcast for you. Listen to the Steam Gentlemen, the podcast where an expert panel convenes to ask the questions about pop culture and social commentary that other podcasts are afraid to ask. Listen to the Steam Gentlemen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Fans International Association is back. That's right, the premier fan club association of the 1970s and 1980s has been revived and is back in business. Join today. It's free at thewfia.org. That's thewfia.org. You can also join us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/WFIA 1969. Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. I'm your host, Brad Drake, and this is the World Wrestling Federation, and we are live and in living color here with the 1987 Supermod. Everybody, the Supermod is just weeks away. Version 11 will be released on Patreon, patreon.com/PowerCast Network. Version 11 is stacked. Lots of new wrestlers, lots of new venues, lots of new events. You name it, it's got it. It's our best mod yet. Check it out on December 1st, everybody, over at patreon.com/PowerCast Network. The WWF is on tour here. We continue as we move on to New Hampshire here. We are running the Kennedy Memorial Coliseum in New Hampshire. And we're going to go ahead and set our broadcasters to none. It's a non-televised house show. Our absent workers, everybody is out that we expect to be out. All right, we got some protege work going on here with Strongbow and Mancini, as usual. And also with Ventura and Wagner. All right, let's take a look at our card for this evening, everybody. We're in Manchester, New Hampshire. I've never been there. I really haven't been to the East Coast before. One of these days, I will. I'll go out there and check it out because there are some things I'd like to see. All right, here is our card. And again, everybody, if it's got the asterisks, that means it's matches that I added to the card to give us 10 bouts or to sub for injured wrestlers, that kind of stuff, okay? So in our opener here, we're going to see Barry Horowitz in singles action with Jim Powers, one half of the Young Stallions. Iron Mike Sharpe is going to battle the Ultimate Warrior. Paul Roma is in singles action against Bam Bam Bigelow. This is an odd one because both of these men were baby faces at the time, although maybe they were trying to test out Bam Bam Bigelow and see how he would be taken as a heel. That's all I can come up with. Brady Boone is going to mix it up with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. The Rougeau brothers will face the new Dream Team in a tag team bout. Hillbilly Jim and the one-man gang will lock horns. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is going to face the Natural Butch Reed. Nikolai Volkoff will battle Billy Jack Haynes, or as Bobby Heenan would refer to him as, Billy Jerk Haynes. King Kong Bundy is going to face Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in our semi-main. And then our main event, everybody, Strike Force will battle the Hart Foundation for the World Tag Team title. We have an exciting card here, everybody. This is a good one here at the JFK Memorial Coliseum here in Manchester, New Hampshire. So with that said, everybody, let's get to booking. And here we go. Horowitz against Powers. And of course, Barry Horowitz is here to do what Barry Horowitz does best, and that is lose. And if you're offended by that, I don't know what to tell you because that's what Barry Horowitz did best. I hear a lot of people talking that enhancement workers should be put in the Hall of Fame. Should they? Should enhancement workers be put in the Hall of Fame? To me, the Hall of Fame, even though it's not, should be reserved for really outstanding wrestlers who really made significant, major contributions, who were so memorable that you could never forget them. In my opinion, that's who should go in the Hall of Fame. So, when you're talking wrestlers like Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino, Buddy Rogers, Lou Thez, I don't know if I said it already, but Ric Flair, uh, you're talking about wrestlers like that. You're talking about pioneers that did stuff that nobody before them had done. Those are the type of men that, in my opinion, do belong in a Hall of Fame. Does a guy that took pinfalls his whole career deserve to be in a Hall of Fame? Think about this, right? And nothing against Barry Horowitz, nothing against any enhancement talent, because quite a few of them are really good, right? They had good ring skills. They were able to put people over well. Iron Mike Sharpe is one we're looking at. Towards the last half of his career, he became an enhancement talent. Big, powerful dude, really good in the ring. In this match, he would make Ultimate Warrior look terrific. Does Iron Mike Sharpe, who really had no personality, really didn't stand out, really didn't make any major contributions to wrestling, where wrestling wouldn't have been the same had he not existed, does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I don't think so. I don't think Barry Horowitz deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think George South deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. To me, that is reserved for wrestlers that made these huge, historic, just totally memorable contributions. Again, just my opinion. All right, Sharpe and the Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior is going to get the win here. We know that the Ultimate Warrior is battling that serious neck injury, but that's okay. We know about this already. Roma and Bigelow, they're going to go 8. And I like both these guys. Did when I was a kid, and I do now. I understand Roma got to be kind of an arrogant guy or whatever. Hey, none of my business. As a fan watching the matches, I thought he was good in the ring. And you've heard me express my opinions on Bam Bam Bigelow before. Bam Bam Bigelow deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Any wrestling Hall of Fame, anywhere. He deserves to be in it. He did have that big of contributions to wrestling. Nobody looked like him before. Nobody moved like him before for a guy that size. He was memorable. He made a major contribution. Bigelow, everybody, is going to get the win here, as I'm sure it happened on the real card. As I've said before, we try to follow the real cards here, but we don't exactly follow the real results. All right, Brady, Boone, and Ted DiBiase, they're going to go 10. Both these men are fine workers. Boone versus DiBiase. Brady Boone's probably giving up, I don't know, 60, 70 pounds here to Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase was a heavyweight, no doubt. Brady Boone was a smaller guy, maybe 5'8", 5'9". All right, Ted DiBiase with the W here, everybody. That's why he's doing these tours, is they're building him up around the country on the house shows, stacking up wins. All right, the Rougeau brothers and the Dream Team. And here we go. These two have wrestled quite a bit, had a pretty good feud going. Here is the Dream Team plugged in. We're going to have the Dream Team get the win, and it's going to come by the interference of their manager. So here we go. Now, again, we're not carrying any specific feud, so maybe we are. Yeah, we are. So, no, this will still do the trick. Yeah. If Johnny V wasn't specifically in a feud with somebody, I'd want him to actually name him in the outside of interference. But since we're not doing that, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here we go. Dream Team with the W. All right, Hillbilly Jim and One Man Gang. These two have been battling out. We're going to make this match shorter and up the last one. These two, I think, went to a double DQ finish the last time, so we're going to do something like that again here. Hillbilly Jim has his place in history. He was entertaining as heck, but he was not a very good wrestler. All right, so we are going to have one-man gang get the win here. And again, this is going to come from manager interference. The Slickster is going to interfere here, everybody. All right, so let's make a change here. Let's bump up the Rougeaus to 16 minutes because that'll be a good match. And then let's go a little bit longer this one. What do we want to do here? Let's knock Volkoff and Haynes down to 12. So Duggan and Reed can stay at 14. All right, so here we go. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Butch Reed. This would have been a good match here in 1987. No doubt about it. Both these men were good in the ring. Jim Duggan was starting to go towards more of a comedy character at this point, but he could still wrestle. He was good, a good brawler. Butch Reed was a very good brawler too. We're going to leave this one open-ended. We'll see how it goes. And up next here we have Volkoff and Haynes. We're going to give them 12 minutes. So here is Nikolai Volkoff. Here's Billy Jack Haynes. Volkoff's getting ready here to debut as one half of the Bolsheviks with Boris Zhukov. All right, here is Haynes with the W. It's a good solid win for him. Up next comes our undercard, our semi-main, Bundy against Steamboat. They're going to go 18. And I think we already know who's taking this one, right? Here's King Kong Bundy. Here is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Steamboat with the W. All right, here we are in New Hampshire now. Time for our big main event. Rule of thumb with house shows is to always send them home happy. So we have Strike Force versus the Hart Foundation. So we are going to have Strike Force get the win. But it's going to come by DQ. So we'll have Tito Santana get the win. It's going to come via DQ. And it's going to be due to Jimmy Hart nailing Tito Santana. So we make it specific this way with the outside interference to specifically do what we want to do. All right, so there we go. This one's all set. We're ready to rock and roll here, everybody. Let's start the show. All right, Horowitz and Powers. Powers gets in with that running power slam. Jimmy Powers was a big dude and a powerhouse. He made Paul Roma look smaller, and Paul Roma was jacked up. 55 overall for this one. A pleasant surprise, actually. Sharpe and the Warrior. Warrior gets the win here. 37 overall for this one, in big part due to the Ultimate Warrior's injury. All right, Bigelow gets the win over Paul Roma here with the power bomb. 71 overall for these two. It's a good match. It's a real good match. All right, Boone and DiBiase. DiBiase gets the win with that $1 Million Dream. And again, 82, outstanding score for these two. All right, Dino Bravo once again gets the win with that side suplex, one of my favorite finishers, but it only works with a guy as huge and beefy as Bravo was. I think if you had like a junior heavyweight doing a side suplex, not really that big of an impact, not really that big of a deal, but a 300-plus pounder like Bravo, drilling the guy into the mat with that side suplex, that's serious business. 77 for these two teams, and a good score, outstanding score. All right, here we go. Hillbilly Jim and One Man Gang. One Man Gang gets the win after Slick interferes. 63 for these two. Not bad at all. Up next here, we have Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the natural Butch Reed. Duggan gets the win over Reed with that running clothesline tackle. Good stuff. Duggan, of course, is rehired after his drug arrest. And Shiki I think did not get hired again for a while. But Duggan did get brought back after a couple months. And here we go. Haynes gets the win over Volkoff with that full Nelson. Good stuff. This is another good match here. 75, 80, 81. Top quality. And here we go. Bundy against Ricky Steamboat. Steamboat wins with that flying karate chop. 95 and a 77 only gets us a 78. And I call BS on that one, everybody. 100% TEW BS. Here we go to the main event. Outstanding score of 94. Great main event. And Strikeforce gets the win, but not the belts. So this one, to be continued, everybody. Does Strikeforce eventually take the title from the Hart Foundation? In real life, yes. October 27th, 1987, that took place. Does that happen again here? So that was actually, today's the 29th and I'm recording it. So, wow, so that's 36 years ago. Yeah. I'd like to see Martel and Santana reunited at a convention or something as Strikeforce. I guess Rick Martel's kind of ducked out of the wrestling spotlight now. I guess he doesn't do conventions or anything like that. I hope it's not a health thing. I hope he's healthy. Rick Martel was always an excellent wrestler, and obviously so was Tito Santana. And of course, I'm going to take nothing away from the Hart Foundation because I think the Harts are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and rightfully were inducted into the Hall of Fame together. All right, so there we go. That's going to finish up that one, everybody. 94 for that main event. We get an outstanding 91 overall for this one. We are going to point out, because we don't point them out enough, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart. And I'd like to point out Jim Duggan, too. Jim Duggan scored real well in this one. He's over. Great performance, great performance, great performance. Bret Hart is pleased. Jim Neidhart is pleased. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is pleased. And Brad Drake is pleased. And everybody, we are heading on to our next tour date here, which is going to be in Utica, New York, at the Memorial Auditorium. Of course, we already have punched in there what actually took place with this card, and then I will go through and add in the rest. And I'll be back in action in a couple days with that episode. So we're waiting here for the screen to load, and there we go. We are all loaded. Hey, Mean Mark is headed to All Japan Pro Wrestling. I think he wrestled as Texas Red in Japan for one tour. All right, Rockin' Robin is only working for us now. Good stuff. That's probably because we just signed her to an exclusive contract. Dino Bravo is tired. Iron Mike Sharpe is tired. Lack of big names. Get out of here. Drew an outstanding score in 91. A quick look around here, everybody. Nothing particularly catches my eye. So we'll move on. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode. For those of you new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop us a message below. Let us know you found the channel, which I think it was so far. For those of you who are looking for more, check us out today on patreon.com/PowerCastNetwork. It's just $5. Everybody gets you access to the latest version of the Supermod, gets you access to all of our spreadsheets, gets you access to all of our shows early and ad-free, and so much more. Check it out today, everybody. It's just $5, the price of a cup of coffee. Patreon.com/PowerCastNetwork. Don't forget, we're on social media. Facebook.com/groups/1987Supermod. And don't forget, everybody, to check us out on the Wrestling Fans International Association, the WFIA.org. It's free to join and gets you a free digital subscription to Wrestling Fan News. It's growing, everybody. It is growing big. The WFIA is the real deal. Check it out today, everybody. Once again, that's the WFIA.org. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.